What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate a branding agency using make.com. Let's get started. On Whimsical, I've outlined all the processes that we're going to automate for a branding agency. The first process that we're going to automate is a client intake process, where we are going to capture leads from our website using Typeform and set up an automation on make.com that will automatically add the leads that we just collected from our website to a project management tool, which in this case, we're going to use monday.com. When the clients fill in their personal information on our form, they will also be prompted to schedule for a discovery call. The main objective of this call is to learn more about the client's brand and to schedule for a brand audit in the future. After adding these leads to Monday, we're also going to send them a confirmation email confirming to them that they just scheduled for a call and we're looking forward to the call. Besides notifying the leads, we're also going to notify our team that a new client profile has just been created on Monday. So that would be the first process that we're going to automate for a branding agency. The next process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is a client onboarding process. In this process, we're going to automate the generation of a proposal and a contract using PandaDoc, and then sending the proposal and contract to our client via email for them to review and sign. We're also going to automate the process of generating an invoice using Stripe and sending the invoice to our client. We're also going to set up payment reminders for overdue payments. Now, besides generating a proposal, contract, and an invoice, we're also going to create a shared folder and send the link to our client for them to add all the brand assets like logos and guidelines on our folder. The next process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is a task allocation and scheduling process. In this process, we're going to automate scheduling meetings in Calendly and notifying our team via email. We're also going to automate consolidating task summaries and sending the summaries to our team via Slack and notifying the team members about the assignments. After automating the task allocation and scheduling process, the next process that we're going to automate is a brand strategy development. In this process, we're going to automate persona development by collecting survey responses from our clients using a Typeform that is integrated with Monday to gather the client's insights. We're also going to automate the brand audit process, where we're going to create a draft positioning document in Google Docs and assign it to the strategy team for review. The next process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is a creative development process, where in this process, we're going to automate notifying the client via email with a link of the designs that the designer would have uploaded on the client's Google Drive folder to collect feedback and approval of the marketing assets. After we've automated the creative development process, the next process that we're going to automate is the content creation process. In this process, we're going to automate creation of a brand story using ChatGPT to draft the initial version of the brand story or tagline based on the brand persona for our team to review. We're also going to automate social media content posting, where we're going to collect all the campaign contents that our designer added on our client's Google Drive folder and post the images and videos on social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Besides automating the brand story and the social media content process, we're also going to automate sending our client a Calendly link for them to schedule for a photo shoot. The next process that we're going to automate is a brand advocacy process. In this process, we're going to automate reaching out to influencers via email for brand advocacy campaigns. And the last process that we're going to automate is a client feedback process, where we're going to automate sending Typeform surveys via email to our clients to gather client feedback for service improvement and future strategies and store the responses on Monday. The first process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is the client intake process. We're going to create a form on Typeform that we're going to use to capture leads from our website and then create an automation on Make that will automatically add the leads to monday.com. We're going to send the leads a confirmation email and then notify our team that a new client profile has just been created on Monday via Slack. On Typeform, I've created a form that I've renamed to Branding Agency Lead Capture Form. On this form, we are asking our leads to enter their personal information. We're asking for their first name, last name, phone number, email, and their company name. After they've filled in their personal information, we are asking them to schedule for a discovery call session. They're going to select a date and time for the call. After collecting their personal information, we're going to add their personal information on Monday. So on Monday, I've created a board that I've renamed to Thrive Branding Agency Clients. Here's where we're going to add our agency clients, and we're collecting their full name. We are assigning them to a member of our team. We're also collecting the date we created them, The last time we updated them, their status. And on status, we have intake, onboard, send client survey, and design feedback as the status of each of our clients. We're also collecting their first name, last name, company name, their email, and their phone number. So all this information that we collect from Typeform, we're going to add it on Monday by creating a simple automation on make.com. On Make, I've created this folder that I've renamed Branding Agency System. Here, I'm going to click on Create a New Scenario. I rename our scenario to Add Clients Info to Monday.com via Typeform. And then here, I'm going to search for Typeform. I'm going to choose Watch Response as our trigger. Here we have two watch responses triggers, one with acid and the other one with instant and acid. If you choose the one with acid alone, you'll need to choose when you like to trigger your automation. The one with instant and acid, it instantly triggers as soon as the leads or the clients submit their form. Since I would like to choose when I would like to trigger automation, I'm going to choose watch response with only acid. Here, I'm going to choose my connection, but if you had not created a connection, just click on add and then rename your connection right here, then click on save. Then a new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you like to connect to make. And then after choosing the account and clicking on OK, your connection will have been created. But since I had already created my connection, I'm going to close this. And then here, I'm going to choose our form. Our lead capture form is called Branding Agency Lead Capture Form. And here I'm going to click on OK. You can see now it's asking me to choose where I would like to start. You can either choose to start from now, to start from a specific date, to choose from all, or to choose manually. I'm going to choose start from now and then click on OK. On our form, I'm going to click on share. And then on our form, I'm going to copy the link of our form and then open the link on a new tab. And then here, I'm going to fill in our form. To fill in our form, I'm going to click on start. And here we can add an example personal information of a lead. For example, you can say the first name of our lead is Ben, the last name is Miller, and we can add their phone number. And here we can add their email. The email could be benmiller@annex.com. The company they work in, you can say it's Annex. And then I'm going to click on OK. You can see we've been prompted to schedule for a discovery call session. Here, we can pick a date and time they would like for the discovery call to happen. So I'll pick a time and then click on. You can see the name of our lead and their email. To schedule the event, I'll click on schedule event. Our event was scheduled and our form is telling us, thank you for taking the time to complete this form. Check out your email for the confirmation email. And then on make, I'm going to run this module only. And then here, you can see we're getting our responses from our form. So we're getting our lead's first name, their last name, their phone number, their email, their company name, and the event of the call that they just scheduled. Now we can proceed to add this lead to Monday. But first here, I'll delay for 2 seconds. So I'll click on tools, then search for sleep. And then I'll delay this for 3 seconds to give Typeform time to populate the client's data. And then after the data has been compiled, we're going to add it to Monday. So on Monday, I'm going to search for create an item module and click on create an item. Like we did with Typeform, you'll also need to create a connection between your Monday.com account with your make.com account. To do that, just click on add, and then here, you'll rename your connection and then add your API key from Monday over here. To get your API key from Monday, just click on your profile and click on administration, click on connection, then click on API. Here, you'll find the API token. All you have to do is copy it, then come and paste your API key right here, then click on save, and your connection will have been created. But since I had already created my connection, I'm going to close this and then choose my item name. For the item name, I'm going to add the first and last name of our lead. So I'm going to add Ben and space Miller. And then for our board, I'm going to choose our board, which is Drive Branding Agency Clients. So I'll choose our board right here. And then for the group ID is going to be Branding Agency Clients. And here we can choose the columns on Monday. They would like to add their values that we collected from Typeform. So the first column that we're going to choose is assignee. I'm going to assign myself to this client. So I'm going to choose person and then choose myself. Then I'll add a new item, choose another column. I'll choose company. And then I'll add the value for the company, which is Ben's company, which is Annex. Then I'll add a new item, choose another column. I'm going to choose date created as our column. And then I'll add the value for our date, which is submitted at. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'm going to choose email as our column. And then the value of the email will be Ben's email here. We can also choose to add Ben's email as a text here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'm going to choose first name as our column. Then the value for the first name will be Ben. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. Then I'm going to choose last name as our column. Then the value for the last name will be Miller. Then I'm going to add a new item, choose another column. I'm going to choose a phone number. Here we can add the phone number of Ben. For the country code, I'm going to use US as a country code. Then add a new item, choose another column. Our column this time around is going to be status. Here I'm going to choose to label it. We can label it as intake since these leads are in intake stage. Then I'll click on OK. Now, after adding our leads on Monday, we would like to send them a confirmation email. So here, I'm going to search for email, then click on send an email module. And then I rename this module to confirmation email and click on OK. On the confirmation email, the recipient email, we're going to add our leads email, which is Ben's email right here. And then the subject line of the email could be the lines of call confirmation with Thrive Branding Agency. For the content type, we're choosing plain text. And then the content of the email could be on the lines of hi, first name. So we are adding Ben's name right here. Thank you for scheduling a call with us. We're excited to connect and discuss how we can help bring your vision to life and elevate your brand to the next level. During the call, you'll gain tailored insights into your brand's potential and opportunities. You'll also discover strategies to connect with your ideal audience effectively. You'll also learn how Thrive can streamline the process of building a standout brand. This is a great opportunity to lay the foundation for branding that sets you apart. If you have any questions or need to reschedule, feel free to reach out at, and then we're providing our email and our phone number. Looking forward to speaking with you. Best regards, Emily, Client Success Manager at Thrive Branding Agency, and click on OK. Now, besides sending the confirmation email, we can also send a Slack message notification to our team members. So here, I'll add another module and search for Slack. On Slack, I'm going to search for create a message module. And here, I'm going to rename this to team notification. And then I'm going to click on OK. On Slack, you'll also create a connection like we did with Monday and Typeform, just by clicking on add, then choosing a connection type. Here I'll choose user, then choose a connection, then click on save. Then a new window will be prompted for you to choose the account that you'd like to link to make. And then after you've created your connection, choose your connection right here. Then here you can enter your channel ID or name. I've chosen to select it from the list, and the channel type, chosen public, and then here I've chosen my channel where my team members are in. And this is a message I'm going to send them after a new client has filled in our form. We're notifying them that a new prospect just scheduled a call. We're telling them a new prospect has just scheduled a call with us. Their name is this. So we're adding their first name, and then we're adding the email right here from Typeform. Then we're telling them, let's review the details and come ready to showcase how we can help them elevate their brand. This is a great opportunity to make a lasting impression. Let's crush it. Now, to test if automation now works, here, I'm going to choose where to start, and I'm going to choose from our previous submission. Instead of repeating the entire process of filling a form again, I'll choose our previous submission and choose to add Ben right here on Monday. So here, after choosing my previous connection, I'm going to run automation again. You can see that automation ran successfully. We got our client's submission. We delayed for 3 seconds. Then we added our client submission to Monday. And then we sent them the confirmation email. And we also notified our team that a new client profile has just been created on Monday. So on Monday, you'll see that we just added a new client right here. His name is Ben Miller. He was assigned to one of our team members. We created them today, just right now. The status is intake. And the first name is Ben Miller. The company is Annex. And this is their email and their phone number. So with this simple automation, we've automated the first process of a branding agency, which is capturing the leads from our website using a Typeform and creating an automation on Make that automatically adds the leads to monday.com and sends the lead a confirmation email and also notifies our team of the client on Slack. The next process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is the client onboarding process. On our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. I'm going to rename our scenario to client onboarding system. Here, I'm going to create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to onboard. So here, I'm going to search for webhooks, click on custom webhook. Then here, I'm going to click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to client onboarding, and then click on save. Here I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK, and then I'll run it. Then on Monday, I'm going to click on integrate. I'm going to click on webhooks. Then I like to send a webhook when the status changes to something, so I'll use this as our template. Then here I'll use another account. Then I'll paste a webhook URL over here. Then I'll click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here we'll return this challenge text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response, and here I'll write challenge. Then add the text, then click on OK, and then run a webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. You can delete the response, and I'll set up a webhook. So I like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to onboard. Then I'll click on create automation. Let us test if our webhook works. So I'll run our webhook one more time, and then change the status of one of our clients to onboard. You can see that it ran successfully. We're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. Now to get the rest of their data, like their email, their phone number, their first and last name, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then here, on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module. Then click on get an item. Here I'm going to choose our connection. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. For the board ID, I'm going to choose Thrive Branding Agency Clients Board. Then click on OK. Now here, you can run this module by pasting our pulse ID. Then click on OK. Now you can see that we're getting their first name, last name, company name, their email, and their phone number. With their data, we can go ahead and start creating a proposal and a contract that we're going to send to our client via their email that we got right here. We're going to create a proposal and a contract using PandaDoc. We'll add another module and search for PandaDoc. And then click on PandaDoc, then click on create a document. Here, you'll need to create a connection between PandaDoc and make.com. To create a connection, click on add, then rename your connection right here, and then click on save. A new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you'd like to link to make. Since I had already created my account, I'm going to close this and choose my account. And then here, we'll need to create a proposal template on PandaDoc that we're going to use to create our client's proposal. On PandaDoc, I'll click on templates. I'm going to click on template. Since we would like to create a proposal first, I'm going to search for proposal. Here, you can use any of these proposals as templates to create a branding proposal. I had already created an example template for a branding agency, so I'm going to use this proposal. I'm going to click on add one item. I'm going to rename our template to Thrive Branding Agency Proposal. You'll customize your proposal to ensure that it's for a branding agency and the message is only tailored to branding agencies. After customizing your template, click on create a document. Here you can give our document a name, Thrive Branding Agency Proposal, then click on continue. Here you can see that we created our proposal template. When we go back to automation, we first of all give our document a name. You can call these our client's first names proposal. And then here we're going to choose our template that we just created. Our template that we just created is Thrive Branding Agency Proposal. We will need to fill in all these details right here. And here we can add our client's email. This is email right here. Client's company will be this company. Our client first name will be Sarah. Last name will be Martin. For our sender company with Thrive Branding Agency, you can add the date of signature right here. But I'm going to click on OK. Now here we can run this module and fill in our details right here. Click on OK. And you can see that we just created our proposal, and this is the document ID of our proposal. Now here, you can choose to download this proposal and send it as a PDF to our client via email. So on PandaDoc, I'm going to search for download a document module. Here, we're going to add the ID of our proposal, which is this ID right here. Then click on OK. Then here, we can rename this module to create proposal. Then click on OK. Then we can rename this module to download proposal. Then click on OK. Now, we can repeat the same process to create a contract for our clients. On PandaDoc, I'm going to click on templates again. Click on template. This time around, I'm going to search for contract. Now you can use any of these contracts right here and customize it to ensure that it's for a branding agency or for branding services. But since I had already created a branding service contract template here, I'm going to choose our contract template and click on add one item. I'm going to rename our contract to Thrive Branding Agency contract template. And then here, we're going to customize our template and ensure that the text of our template is for a branding agency. We can also add our logo on each of our pages here. Now, after customizing our template, I'll click on create a document. Here I'll give our document a name, then click on continue. Now, after creating our template on Make, I'm going to search for PanaDoc, then click on create a document to create our contract. Then I'll give our document a name. You can say this is our client's contract. Then I'll choose our template that we just created, which is Thrive Branding Agency contract template. Then here, like we did previously, we'll add our client's details right here. So we can add our email address right here, and then add our client's email right here, which is this email right here. We can add our first name, we can add their first name, we can add their last name, we can also add their postal code, the state, the street, and their date of signature. I'm going to click on OK. Then here, I'm going to run this module again and fill in all this information right here. And after filling our first name, email, and company name and last name, I'm going to click on OK. You can see that we just created our contract, and this is the ID of our contract. So here, I'm going to download this contract by choosing the download document module on PanaDoc. For the document ID, I'm going to add our contract ID right here and click on OK. And here, I'm going to rename this module to create a contract. Then I'm going to rename this module to download contract and then click on OK. Besides creating a proposal and a contract, we're also going to create a shared folder. So on Make, I'm going to search for Google Drive. Then here, I'm going to click on create a folder. Here, I'm going to choose a new folder location. You can choose the home. And then here we can give a folder a name. You can say this is going to be our clients folder. And then here I'm going to click on OK. Here, I'll rename this module to clients folder. And then click on OK. And then after creating our folder, we can now create an invoice on Stripe. So here, I'll search for Stripe. Since this is a new client, we're going to create our client on Stripe. So I'm going to search for customers, then click on create a customer. Here we can add the description as branding services. Here we can add their email. The email address will be this email right here. You can add their name, you can add their phone number. You have all this information about your client. You can also add the information right here. But I'm going to click on OK. Now, after creating our customer, here on Stripe, I'm going to search for create an invoice item. Here, we're going to add our customer ID. It should be the ID of our customer after we created them on Stripe. To input amount, we can choose by a total amount, by a unit amount and quantity, or by an existing price object. I'll choose by a total amount. And then here, we can add the amount that we're charging for services. So here we can add, say, $2,000. The amount right here will be in cents. So you need to add 2 extra zeros to convert the amount into dollars. So the 200,000 right here represents $2,000. Currency, we're using USD. So currency, you can add our description and add branding services as our description. We can choose the start period and the end period right here. Then I'll click on OK. And then here, I'm going to search for tolls. I'll delay for 3 seconds, then click on OK. Here on Stripe, I'm going to create an invoice. And click on create an invoice module. Now, the customer ID, we're going to add our client's customer ID that we did after we created them on Stripe. For the collection method, we can either choose to charge them automatically or send an invoice. If you choose to send an invoice, here we can add days until due. Say we would like 3 days. You can also add the due date right here. You can also then add the description. And then here I'm going to click on OK. Then after creating an invoice, here I'm going to also delay for 2 or 3 seconds. And then here on Stripe, I'm going to search for invoice. Then I'll click on finalize the draft invoice. Then here I'm going to add the ID of our invoice, then click on OK. We can now send our client the proposal, contract, our clients folder link, and invoice via email. So I'll search for email, then click on send an email module, and then I'll rename this email to onboarding email, and then click on OK. Now for the email address, you can add the email address of our client for Monday, which is this email address right here. The subject line of the email could be on the lines of "Welcome to Thrive Branding Agency. Next steps." For the content type, I'm going to choose plain text. For this, then here you can say hi, first name, the first name of our client. We are thrilled to have you on board and can't wait to start working with you to bring your vision to life. To get started, here's some important links for you. For the contract, we can add the PDF of our contract after we've downloaded it. We can do the same with the proposal. Then we can add the invoice link right here. It should be this invoice over here. We can then add our clients folder from Google Drive to be this web view link. Then on the email we're saying we'll use your client folder to collaborate and share files throughout the project. To help us hit the ground running, please upload the following to your folder: your brand's logo files, any brand guidelines and style guides, relevant marketing materials or assets. If you have any questions or need assistance with anything, do not hesitate to reach out. We're here to make the process smooth and seamless as possible. Looking forward to creating something amazing together. And then here you can go into more details, so you're telling the client whether to review the contract and sign the contract, to review the proposal and sign the proposal, and to clear the invoice using this link over here. But this could be the example of an onboarding email that we're going to send to our client, attaching the proposal, the contract, client folder, and the invoice. And after sending our onboarding email, we can choose to send a payment reminder email 1 day after the due date has passed if the client wouldn't have paid the invoice. So here I'm going to search for tools, and here I'm going to set a variable. You can give the variable a name as dates, and then you can give it the value as now, and click on OK. On Stripe, we're going to search for search invoices. We're going to add our customer ID after we created our customer right here. Now for the status, we would like our status of our invoice to still be open. For the collection method, we can choose to charge them automatically and limit it to 1, and click on OK. And then here we can now send them the payment reminder email. So I'm going to search for email, then click on send an email, and then I'll rename this module to payment reminder email. Then click on OK. Now for the email address of our client, we're going to get the email address from Monday right here. And the subject line could be on the lines of friendly reminder, invoice payment due. And then the content type, which is choosing plain text. And for the content of the email, you can say hi, first name. I wanted to reach out with a gentle reminder regarding the recent invoice, which was due yesterday. So we're going to send this email 1 day after the due date has passed. We understand that things get busy, and if the payment slips through the cracks, no worries. You can complete the payment here at your own convenience. Then we can add the link of our invoice after we've searched it, and then we can conclude the email by saying, if you've sent the payment, please disregard this message. Otherwise, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need any assistance. Thank you for your attention and looking forward to continuing our work together. Best regards, Emily. And I'm going to click on OK. Now here, we can set up a filter. Can label it as amount due. So this filter will check if the client has any outstanding amount. We can say that the date should equal to, and I'm going to choose the date time parameter. You can say the date should equal to the due date. So we're going to check on the due date if the client has paid the invoice. So I'm going to click on add. I'm going to add the amount due and choose the basic operators exist. So if it's the due date and the client still has an amount that is due, we're going to search for their invoice. Now here we can set up a filter to send our payment reminder email. So here I'm going to label this filter to payment reminder and then set up a condition. You can say that the date should equal to, here we can add the date time operators, and then on date and time we're going to choose on add days, and then I'm going to choose the due date. So we're going to send this email 1 day after the due date, and then click on OK. So with the first filter, we're checking if it's the due date and the client has an outstanding amount. And then for the second filter, we're setting up the filter for the day that we're going to send the payment reminder email. To test if automation works, I'm going to run an automation On Monday, I'm going to change the status of one of our clients to onboard. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after the status of one of our clients changed to onboard. And then we got their client's data. We created a proposal on Panadoc and then downloaded the proposal right here. And then we created the contract and then downloaded the contract right here, created the client's folder. Then we went ahead to create an invoice. And then we sent the proposal, the contract, the client's folder, link, and the invoice to our client via this onboarding email. And now, after the due date has passed, we're going to check if the client has an outstanding amount and then send the payment reminder 1 day after the due date has passed. So with this simple automation, we've automated the client onboarding process for a branding agency. The next process that we're going to automate is the task allocation and scheduling process. To automate the task allocation and scheduling process, on our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. On Monday, I've also created another board that I've renamed to Thrive Branding Agency team members. We'll have a list of our team members in our agency. So we have their full name, we have their status. On status, we have intake, onboard, and task allocation as the status of each of our team members. So collecting their first name, last name, their email. And after we have assigned a client to one of the team members, it's going to reflect right here. And then we're writing a task summary for this team member. Now, here, we're going to create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our client changes to task allocation. We're going to create a scheduling link on Calendly and send it to our team members for a task allocation call. And then 1 day after the call has already happened, we're going to send the team members a task summary and their assignments on Slack. So here, I'm going to start by creating a webhook and click on custom webhook. I'm going to click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to task allocation. And then here I'm going to click on save. Then I'm going to copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK. Then I'm going to run our webhook. And then on Monday, on our Thrive Branding Agency team members board, I'm going to click on integrate, and then click on webhooks. Here I'll use this as our template. And then I'm going to use another account and then paste the webhook URL that we just copied from make, and then click on connect. It says fail communicate with the URL provided. Yeah, we'll return this challenge text using a webhook response. So I'll search for webhook response, and then here we'll write challenge right here, and then add this text, and then click on OK. Now I'll run our webhook again, and then on Monday I'll click on connect, and then you can see that it ran successfully. I'll delete the webhook response, and then I'll create a webhook. So I like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to task allocation, and then I'm going to click on create. Now here we can run this webhook one more time and change the status of one of our clients to task allocation. You can see that it ran successfully. Now to get the rest of their data, like their email, their first and last name, I'm going to search for get an item module, then click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. And then for the board, I'm going to choose Thrive Branding Agency team members board this time around, and then click on OK. And now I'm going to run this module by pasting our pulse ID that we just copied and click on OK. Here you can see that we're getting our team members first name, last name, their email, their task summary. We're also getting the client who we assigned to them. That's also now with their data right here, we can create a scheduling link and send it to them via email. So here I'll search for Calendly and click on create a scheduling link. For the maximum event, I'm going to choose 1. Then for the event type, I'm going to choose task allocation. Then click on OK. Here, I'll rename this to and click on OK. Now we can send the scheduling link to our client via email. So on email, I'm going to click on send an email. Then I'll rename this module to, and then click on OK. For the email address, we're going to add our team member's email address from here. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of schedule for new project task allocation. The content type, we're choosing plain text. And then the content of the email could be in the lines of exciting news. A new project has just come in and we need to hit the ground running. To ensure everyone is aligned and tasks are distributed effectively, please schedule a meeting using the link below. Then here we are telling them to schedule a meeting using this link. So this is a booking URL. Then we're telling action required. We're telling them use the above link to book a meeting at your earliest convenience. Come prepared to discuss how your expertise can contribute to this project and any resources you may need to get started. This is a great opportunity to showcase our teamwork and deliver exceptional results. Let's make this project a success. If you have any questions or challenges scheduling your meeting, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to connecting. Best regards, Emily. And click on OK. To test if automation works, I'm going to run our automation. On Monday, I'm going to change the status of one of our team members to task allocation. You can see that automation works. We triggered our automation by changing the status of one of our team members to task allocation. We got their data right here. Then we created a scheduling link on Calendly, and we send the scheduling link using the task allocation email. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to send our team members a task summary via Slack and notify them about the assignments. So here, I'm going to first of all set a variable for our date, and then the value will add now, and then click on OK. And then here, we're going to search for our clients folder. So here, I'm going to choose a folder, choose a main folder, you can retrieve a folder from a full text, and here we can say our clients folder, and then here we can limit it to 1, then click on OK. Yeah, you can rename this to clients folder, and then click on OK. And then now we can send the Slack notification to our team. So on Slack, I'm going to create a message module. I'll rename this module to task summary, then click on OK. On Slack, here we're going to choose our connection, then we're going to choose our channel over here, our team members channel. This is a text notification that we're going to send to our team. So we're notifying them the task assignments for brand development project. Here's the consolidated task summary for our new project. Please review your assignments and ensure timely delivery. Alex, research the clients, target audience, and industry trends, due on Monday, day 27. And then Jordan, create 3 logo concepts and upload them on Google Drive, due on Tuesday, November 8th. Taylor, develop a presentation for client review, including creative rationale, due Wednesday, November 29th. And then we are telling them where they're going to find the resources, which is in our clients folder link, which is this link here from these clients folder that we just searched on Google Drive. And then we're concluding by telling them, let me know if you have any questions or need support. Let's deliver something incredible together. Then click on OK. And then here, we'd like to send the task summary notification to our team 1 day after the call has happened, 1 day after we send the task allocation email. So here, I'm going to set up a filter and label this filter to task summary. The condition, we'd like to send it, we can say the date should equal to, and then on date and time, we can add days. Here I can say now, equal to 1. So here we're going to send the task summary notification to our team members on Slack 1 day after we send the task allocation email, and click on OK. We can run automation again, and then change the status of one of our team members to task allocation. You can see the automation ran successfully. We send the scheduling link via the task allocation email. Now 1 day after we send them the task allocation email, we're going to search for our clients folder, then send the task summary notification to our team via Slack. So with this simple automation, we've automated the task allocation and scheduling process for branding agency. The next process that we're going to automate is the brand strategy development process. To automate the brand strategy and development process, we're going to create 2 automations, one for positioning and personas, and the other one for brand audits. For the positioning and personas, we're going to automate persona development by sending a survey form to our clients, and then getting the responses and adding the responses to Monday to gather client insights. Now, on Typeform, I've created a survey form that I've renamed to Client Insight Survey Form. Here, we are sending this form to our client to fill in all these questions that we are going to use to create a persona for their brand. So we are starting by asking them to fill in the personal information where they're giving us their first name, last name, and the email. The first question that we're asking them is, how would you describe your current brand identity? And here's where they're going to type in the answer. We're also asking them, who are your primary customers and what problems do you solve for them? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. The fourth question that we're asking them is, what sets your business apart from competitors in your industry? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. The fifth question that we're asking them is, what are the most significant challenges you currently face in your industry or business? And then they're going to type in the answer right here. The sixth question that we're asking them is, do you have any style preference for your branding? They can either choose modern, minimalist, bold, or classic options. The seventh question that we're asking them is, what tone or voice should your brand use to communicate with your audience? Then they're going to type in the answer right here. And the last question that we're asking them is, are there any brands inside or outside your industry that you admire and why? Then they're going to type in the answer right here. This is the form that we're going to send to our clients to gather client insights so we can develop a persona for their brand. We're going to create an automation to send this survey form to our client. So on Make, I'm going to search for webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here I'm going to click on add, and then I'm going here, I'll rename our webhook to client insights, then click on save. Here I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK, and then I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, on our Thrive Branding Agency clients, I'm going to click on integrate. And then I'm going to click on webhooks. Then I'll choose when status changes to something. Then I'll use another account and paste our webhook URL right here. Then I'll click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here we'll return this challenge tag using a webhook response. So on webhook response here, I'll write challenge. And then I'll add challenge tags right here and then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Run successfully. We can delete this module. Let us set up our webhook. We'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to send client survey. Then I'll click on create automation. Run our webhook again to test if it's working. Then change the status of one of our clients to send client survey. You can see that it ran successfully. We got a specific client whose status we just changed. And then now, to get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module. And click on get an item. Choose my connection. And then for the ID, I'm going to add pulse ID. And then for the board, I'm going to choose the Thrive Branding Agency clients. Then click on OK. And then here, I'm going to run our module by pasting our pulse ID right here. And clicking on OK. Then we're getting our clients' data, getting their first name, last name, company name, their email, and their phone number. Now, with our clients' data, we can now send the client insight survey form to our client via email. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our form. So I'll click on type form, I'll click on share. Here, you'll see the link to our form. Now, I'll copy the unique ID to this form, which is the last part on our link. So I'll copy it. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for type form. Then on type form, I'm going to click on get a form. Then I'm going to choose my connection, and then add the unique ID that we just copied. Click on OK. You can also run this module and see if we're going to get our form. You can see we're getting our form right here. That's awesome. So we can rename this module to Client Insights Survey Form, and then click on OK. And then we can send this form to our client via email. So here, I'm going to search for send an email module. Then I'm going to rename this to Client Insights Email. Then click on OK. The email address, we're going to add our client's email address for Monday. And then the subject line of this email could be on the lines of help us understand your brand better. And then for the content type, we're going to choose plain text. And then the content of the email could be on the lines of hi, first name. We're going to add the client's first name. I hope you're doing well. At Thrive Branding Agency, our goal is to create a brand strategy that truly reflects your vision and connects with the audience. To achieve this, we'd like to learn more about your business, your customer, and your unique brand personality. We put together a persona development survey to gather key insights that will guide our creative and strategic process. It will take only a few minutes, and your response will ensure we design a strategy tailored to your needs. Click here to complete the survey. Then here we're going to add the link to our form, which will be this link right here. And then we're concluding the email by saying thank you for taking the time to share your insights. If you have any questions about the survey or the process, feel free to reach out anytime. Looking forward to crafting something amazing together. Best regards, Jessica. I'm going to click on OK. Now, to test this automation, I'm going to run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to send client survey. You can see that automation ran successfully, and we send our client the client insight survey form using this email right here. And here's a link to the survey form. Now, we can create another automation that captures the client responses and adds their responses to Monday, which is the second part right here. Then we're going to go ahead and develop a brand positioning document that we're going to send to our team for them to review. That on our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. Here, since we're watching the responses that our client is going to submit on our client insight survey form. Here, I'm going to search for type form, then click on watch responses. Here, I'm going to choose our form. Our form is called client insight survey form. Then I'm going to click on OK. Here we can choose to start from now, since a specific date, all, or choose manually. I'm going to choose on a previous submission that I performed previously, then click on OK. The responses that we're going to get over here, we're going to add them to Monday, right here. So on Monday, I've created a board that I've renamed to Client Insight Survey Responses. Here is where we're going to add the responses that our client is going to submit on the form that we just sent them over here. So here we're collecting their full name, the first name, the last name, their email, and some of the responses of the questions that we sent them on type form. The first one was the brand identity, the second one was the customer problem, the brand style, and the brand tone. So these are the responses that the client just gave us right here. Here on type form, I'm going to choose where to start. Since I don't want to repeat filling in our form again, I'm going to choose to start from the previous form that we submitted, which is this form right here. And then now here, we can delay for 2 seconds to give Typeform a chance to compile our client's data. We can run this module only. And here the previous submission that we performed earlier. Now we can add these responses to Monday. So on Monday, I'm going to search for create an item module. For the item name, we're going to add the first and last name of our client. So the first name, then space, last name. Then for the board ID, we're going to choose the client insight survey responses. For the group ID, I'm going to choose client insights. And here, I'm going to choose the columns on Monday and add the values to those columns from the responses of our clients. Our clients submitted on our form. So the first column will be the brand identity. Here we can add the value for the brand identity, which will be this one. Then I'll add a new item and choose another column. I'm going to choose brand style. Can add the value for the brand style. Then I'm going to add a new item and choose another column, which will be the brand tone. Then add the value for the brand tone. Then we're going to add the value for the tone and voice of the brand. Then I'm going to add a new item, choose another column, which will be the customer problems. You can add the value for the customer problems, and then add a new item, choose another column. It's going to be the email. You can add the client's email address that they submitted on the form. You can also choose client's email as the value for the text, then choose another column, choose first name, add the value for the first name, which will be our client's first name. Another item, then choose another column. I'm going to choose last name, then add the value for the last name right here, and then another item, choose another column. I'm going to select status. Here, you can label the status as intake and click on OK. Now we can choose to start from our previous submission right here instead of filling the form afresh, and run automation and see if we're going to add the information on Monday. On Monday, you can see we just added a new client insight survey responses right here. Now with our client's responses right here, we can go ahead and create a draft positioning document on Google Docs and send the document to our team via Slack to review. So here, we're going to use our client's responses right here to create a brand positioning document using ChatGPT. So I'll search for OpenAI, then click on create a completion. I'm going to rename this module to generate positioning document, then click on OK. And then we can instruct ChatGPT to create a draft positioning document for us by adding prompts for the different roles. The first role, we're going to choose system, and then the prompt we're telling ChatGPT to create a draft positioning document by using the following brand elements: the brand entity, the tone, customer problems, and style to develop a unique value proposition, key messaging, and positioning strategies for the brand. Here we add in the brand identity, the brand tone, the customer problem, and the brand style that the client submitted on our typeform. And then for our user role, we're telling ChatGPT to review the draft positioning document for accuracy, ensuring it reflects the brand's identity, tone, customer problems, and style, providing revisions or additional details you'd like to include. And then for the role of the assistant, we're telling ChatGPT to create a draft positioning document in Google Doc, beginning with an introduction and summarizing the brand's purpose and goals based on the provided brand identity, tone, customer problems, and style. And we're expanding on positioning statement, key messaging, the brand personality, the differentiation and value proposition, position strategy, and we're concluding by saying, conclude the document by summarizing the brand's core mission, how it solves customer problems, and its unique positioning in the market, reinforce the brand tone and style, and click on OK. So these are the modules that we're going to use to generate the positioning document. And then we're going to go ahead and add the document to a Google Docs file. So I'll search for Google Docs. And I'm going to click on create a document. We're going to add our client's name and say this is their brand positioning document. For the content, we're going to add the results that we generate from ChatGPT. Here we're going to choose the folder of our client, which is this client right here that we created, and then click on OK. Then I'm going to rename this module to brand positioning document. Then click on OK. You can send the brand positioning document to our team for review via Slack. So I'll search for Slack. And then on Slack, I'm going to click on create a message. Name it to team notification. And then click on OK. And then here we're choosing public channel, then choosing our team's channel. Then here's the message that we're sending to our team. We're telling them new client survey completed. Hey team, we just received a completed customer survey form from our client's first name for personal development. The response says, will be used to create a detailed positioning document. Please review the positioning document draft in Google Docs here. Then we're linking the brand positioning document for them to review. And then we're concluding by saying, let's use this data to guide our next steps in refining the brand positioning and ensuring it aligns with the client's target audience and goals. Let me know if you need anything else. Thanks, Mike. Then click on OK. These simple automation, we are getting the responses of our clients, giving us their insights, and then adding the client's insights on Monday, right here. And then we're using the client's insight to generate a positioning document, a brand positioning document using ChatGPT. And we're adding the brand positioning document to a Google Docs file right here. And then we're sending our team the Google Docs file for them to review using this simple automation. So with this simple automation, we've automated the second part of this process, which is creating a draft positioning document using the data that we populated on Monday and sending the document to our team via Slack for them to review the draft positioning document. After we've automated the brand strategy development process, the next process that we're going to automate is the creative development process. After the designer has uploaded the designs on our client's folder, we're going to create an automation that automatically notifies the client via email with a link to the files to collect feedback and approval of the marketing assets. To automate the creative development process, on our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. We're going to create a webhook that is triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to design feedback. So here, I'm going to search for webhooks and click on custom webhook. Here, I'm going to click on add and then rename our webhook to design feedback. And then click on save. Here, I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK. And then I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. Then I'll click on webhooks. Then I'd like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to something. So I'll use this as our template. And then I'll use another account and then paste the webhook URL right here. Then click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provider. So I'll return this challenge text using a webhook response. So here, I'll write challenge. And then I'll add the challenge text right here. Then click on OK. So I'll run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Consider it ran successfully. I'll delete our response. Then I'll run our webhook again. So here, I'll like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to design feedback, and I'll click on create automation. Now, to test if automation works, I'll run our webhook and then change the status of one of our clients to design feedback. You can see that it ran successfully and we got the client whose status we just changed. Now, to get the rest of the data, I'll copy the pulse ID. And then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module. Then click on get an item. The ID I'm going to add the pulse ID. And then for the board ID, I'm going to choose the right branding agency clients. Then click on OK. And then I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here. Then click on OK. Now you can see we're getting the first name, last name, company name, the email, the phone number. Now with their data, we can get our client's folder and send the folder to our client via email for them to take a look at the designs and then approve and give us feedback of the marketing assets. So yeah, I'm going to search for Google Drive, and then I'm going to search for files and folders. Here, I'm going to choose our folder. Our folder is at home. Then I'm going to retrieve a folder, and I'm going to perform a full text search. Here, we're going to search for our clients folder, our clients folder. You can limit it to 1, then click on OK. I'm going to rename this to clients folder. Then click on OK. Now we can send this folder, the link to this folder, to our client via email. So on emails, I'll click on send an email module. I'll rename this module to design feedback email. Then I'll click on OK. For the email address, we're going to add our client's email address from Monday, right here. Then the subject of the email could be on the lines of review and approve your marketing assets. For the content type, we're going to choose plain text. For the content of the email could be on the lines of dear first name. We're excited to share the marketing assets we've been working on for your brand. The files are now ready for your review and would like your feedback to ensure everything aligns perfectly with your vision. Please use the following link to access and review the assets. And here, we are adding the link to our clients folder. Within the folder, you'll find all the materials that we've developed based on our previous discussions. Kindly take a moment to review the content and provide any feedback or approval. We appreciate your time and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Should you need any adjustments or further information, feel free to let us know. Best regards, Brandon. And here I'm going to click on OK. Test automation, I'll run it. Then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to design feedback. You can see that automation works. We trigger our webhook after we change the status of one of our clients to design feedback. So we got our client's data over here. We search for our client's folder, and then we send the client's folder link to our client using this design feedback email. We were requesting our clients to give us feedback and approval of our marketing assets. So with this simple automation, we've automated the creative development process. The next process that we're going to automate for a branding agency is a content creation process. We're going to create two automations. One automation to send our client a Calendly link to schedule for a photo shoot, and another automation to post or schedule social media posts with content pulled from our client's folder. So to automate the content creation process, we're going to start by creating an automation that sends our client the Calendly link to schedule for a photo shoot. We're also going to, on this automation, we're also going to use AI to generate a brand story or taglines, send the story or the taglines to our team for review using Slack. So on our branding agency system folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename this scenario to content creation, brand story creation, and photography scheduling. We're going to create the brand story from the recent submissions that the client submitted, and we added to our client's insight survey responses board on Monday. So we are going to use the brand identity, customer problems, brand style, and brand tone to create a brand story for our client's brand. But before that, we're going to start by creating a scheduling link and sending the link to our client for them to schedule for a photo shoot. So here, I'm going to click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. I like to trigger this webhook after the status of one of our clients right here changes to brand story. So I'll click on add, and then here, I'm going to rename it to brand story. Then click on save. Here I'll copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. On Monday, I'll click on integrate. Then click on webhooks. Then here I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click on when a status changes to something, send a webhook. And here I'm going to use another account and then paste the link of our webhook right here and click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. I'm going to return this challenge text using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And then here, I'm going to write challenge and then add the challenge text right here, then click on OK. And then I'll run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Yeah, you can set up a webhook. So I'll extend a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to brand story. And I'll click on create automation. You can delete the response and test if our webhook works. So I'll run our webhook. I'll change the status of one of our clients to brand story. You can see the specific client to status we just changed. To get the rest of the data, I'll copy it. And then here on Monday, I'll search for get an item. Click on get an item module. Choose my connection. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. And then for the board ID, I'm going to choose client inside service responses and click on OK. And then here, you can run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here, then click on OK. You can see we're getting our client's data right here, the first name, last name, and their email. So we're going to use this email to send them a calendar link for them to schedule for a photo shoot. And then we're going to use the brand identity, customer problems, style, and brand tone to create a brand story for our brand. So here, I'm going to start by searching for Calendly. Then here, I'll click on create a scheduling link. Maximum event count. I'm going to choose 1. And then for the event type, I'm going to choose photography session. Then click on OK. Yeah, I'm going to rename this to photography session link. And then click on OK. And then now we're going to send the photography session link via email. So on emails, I'm going to click on send an email module. And then I'm going to rename this to photography session email. And then click on OK. Email address we're going to add our client's email address right here. Public link could be in the lines of schedule your brand focus photo shoot. The content type, we're choosing plain text. The content of the email could be in the lines of dear first name. As part of our continued efforts to strengthen and elevate your brand identity, we're excited to move forward with a personalized photo shoot, your brand's essence. To make the process as seamless as possible, we've set up a Calendly link where you can choose a time that works best for you to schedule the shoot. Here we're adding the Calendly link right here. Then we're saying the photo shoot will be designed to align perfectly with your brand's visual identity, tone, and style, ensuring that the images we create will resonate with your target audience and strengthen your brand's presence. Once you select a time, we'll send over the next steps and any preparations needed. Should you have any specific preferences or ideas for the shoot, feel free to mention them during the scheduling process. Looking forward to capturing the essence of your brand. Best regards, Brandon. Then click on OK. Now we can test if this automation works by running it, and then changing the status of one of our clients to brand story. Our automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to brand story. Then we created a photography scheduling link that we sent using the photography session email right here. So this is the content of the email and the Calendly link for them to schedule for a photography session. We can also use the brand identity, customer problem, brand style, and brand tone to generate a brand story using ChatGPT. So here, I'm going to search for OpenAI, then click on create a completion. I'll rename this module to generate brand story. And then here, we're going to add prompts for all the different roles. For the system role, we're telling ChatGPT to create a brand story document by using the following brand elements: brand identity, tone, customer problem, and style to develop a unique brand story for the brand. Then here we are linking the brand identity, the brand tone, the customer problem, the brand style that we got from Monday. For the role of the user, we are telling ChatGPT to review the brand story document for accuracy, ensuring it reflects the brand's identity, tone, customer problems, and style. We're also telling ChatGPT to provide any revisions or additional details. The role of the assistant, we're telling ChatGPT to create a brand story document and begin with an introduction summarizing the brand's purpose and goals on the provided brand identity, tone, customer problems, and style, and click on OK. Then after ChatGPT generates the brand story for us, we're going to add the brand story to a Google Docs file. So I'll search for Google Docs, then click on create a document. I'm going to name our document as our client's brand story. and then we can add brand story that we generated from ChatGPT. Here we can add the document's location on our client's folder right here, and then I rename this module to brand story. Click on OK. And then now we can send these brand story documents to our team via Slack for them to review the brand story. So here I'm going to search for Slack, then click on create a message. Here I'm going to rename our module to team notification and click on OK. We can select our channel from the list. Our channel type will be public channel. Then I'm going to choose our team's channel right here. And then the text that we're going to send to our team could be in the lines of new brand story created. The brand story for our client's first name is now ready. Please review and provide feedback. Here's the link. And then we're linking the brand story document here. Thanks, Mike. And then click on OK. With this simple automation, we've automated creating a scheduling link and sending it to our client and generating a brand story for our client. Now let us create another automation that automatically posts social media content pulled from our client's Google Drive folder. On our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. To content creation, post or schedule social media posts. And then here, since we want to collect all the campaign content, including text, images, and videos from our client's Google Drive folder, and then post the content, I'll search for Google Drive, and I'm going to watch files now. Here, watch files by created time, and then I'll select the folder I'd like to watch. Here, you can select our client's folder, and then you can select all files to watch and limit it to 1 or 2. I'm going to choose to limit it to 1 and click on OK. We can run this module. You can see we're getting our image from our folder. Now, we can try and post that image. But to post the image on Google Drive, we'll create a shareable link. I'll add the file ID, which is this file ID. The role can say Twitter, saying only the link, and click on OK. Now, I'll search for HTTP and click on Get a File module. I'll add the URL of this link right here and click on OK. So the link is the link of our image or our videos. And then with the link over here, we can proceed and post the link of the image or the video to social media platforms. So since I'm going to post on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So yeah, I'll search for flow control, then click on router. Since we want to post in 4 social media platforms, I'll add 4 routes. The first platform I'm going to post is Facebook. So I'll search for Facebook, then click on Facebook page, then click on create a post with photos. You can do the same for Instagram. Then click on Instagram for business, then click on create a photo post. You can do the same for LinkedIn. So I'll search for LinkedIn and click on LinkedIn. Then here I'm going to create a user image post. And then you can do the same for Twitter. So I'm going to search for Twitter. Then click on Twitter. I'm going to go to the previous version and click on upload media. Yeah, we're going to add an attachment, choose our file from here, module, then click on OK. And then click on OK. Then here, I'll go to now the latest version, then click on create a post. After you've created the connection of your social media accounts on Make, all you have to do is just link the get a file module, write a caption if you want to, and then schedule it or post it. You can do the same with Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Now with this automation right here, you can post the content on your client's Google Drive folder to these social media platforms. If you like to schedule the content, you can use this tool called Vista Social. Right here, it's an incredible tool that you can use to schedule posts on any social media platform. So all you have to do is create an account on Vista Social, get the API key, come and link the API key on Make, and then connect the file that you like to schedule on the particular platform that you like to schedule the post. So for this one, you can schedule it on Facebook. You can also clone it right here and schedule a post on Instagram. You can also clone it right here and schedule a post on LinkedIn, and clone this module and now schedule a Twitter post using Vista Social. With this simple automation, we've automated the process of posting auto-scheduling social media posts from the files on our client's Google Drive folder. Connecting the social media modules is very easy, and also scheduling the posts is very easy using Vista Social. You guys can do it, but if you cannot be able to do it, just comment down below in the comment section. I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create this entire automation, setting up every single module from scratch. The next process that we're going to automate is a brand advocacy process, where we're going to automate sending outreach emails to influencers for brand advocacy campaigns. Now, to automate the brand advocacy process, on our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. I'm going to rename our scenario to brand advocacy influencer outreach. On Monday, I've created a board that I've renamed to influencer list. Here's where we're going to add a list of our influencers. Here, we are collecting the influencers' full name, the date we created them, the last time we updated them, their status. And on status, we have onboard and send outreach emails at the status of each of our influencers. And then here we are also collecting their first name, last name, and their email. Now, to send the outreach emails, I'm going to create a webhook on Make that is triggered after the status of one of our influencers changes to send outreach email. So on Make, I'm going to search for webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'm going to click on add, and then rename our webhook to influencer. Click on save. And then here I'm going to copy the link of our webhook, then click on OK, and then run it. Then on Monday, I'm going to click on integrate. Then I'm going to click on webhook, then choose this as our template, and use another account, and paste the webhook URL that we just copied here, and click on connect. Since failed communicate with the URL provided, we'll connect it using a webhook response, and then return the text over here. Write challenge, and then add the challenge text right here, then click on OK. Then I'll run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Then here I'll set up a webhook. Let's send our webhook, and the status changes to send outreach emails. And I'll click on create automation. Here I'll delete these webhook response. Then I'll run our webhook again. Can test if it works. Can see that it works perfectly. So here I'll copy this pulse ID to get the rest of their data. On Monday, I'll search for get an item. Click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. And then for the board ID, I'm going to choose our influencers list. Then click on OK. Then I'm going to run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here. And click on OK. You can see we're getting their data right here, getting their first name, last name, and their email address. With their first name and email, we can send them influencer outreach emails. So here on emails, I'm going to click on send an email module, and then I'm going to rename this to influencer outreach email. And then click on OK. Now for the email address, we're going to add our influencer's email address from Monday. The subject line of the email could be on the lines of exciting brand advocacy opportunity with Thrive Branding Agency. For the content type, we're choosing plain text, and the content of the email could be on the lines of hi first name. We're adding the first name right here, and then we're saying I'm reaching out on behalf of Thrive Branding Agency, a full service agency that helps brands establish a unique identity, connect with their target audience, achieve their business goals through strategic branding and marketing. We've been following your incredible work on Instagram and are totally impressed with how you engage with the audience and create authentic content. Your values and tone align perfectly with what we stand for, and we'd love to collaborate with you on an upcoming brand advocacy campaign. Here's what we envision for this collaboration. One is a campaign type, where we're telling them we'd like to partner with you to create Instagram posts and stories showcasing how our branding services can elevate your businesses and help them grow. So you can tailor this message to your specific company and services that you offer. For the deliverables, we're telling them 2 Instagram posts, 1 story, and a blog post featuring your company right here, can add your company, with tags and mentions across all platforms. For the incentives, we're telling them we're happy to offer a $2,000 compensation for involvement, plus access to free brand audit surveys for your personal or business use. We also provide all the necessary assets to make the content creation process as smooth as possible. For the campaign type, we're telling them we're looking to launch this campaign in early January, and we'd like for you to be a part of it. We're also telling them we believe this will be a mutually beneficial partnership, and we're excited to work with you to help more businesses build strong and effective brands. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'd love to discuss the details further and answer any questions you might have. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Best regards, Jessica. Then I'm going to click on OK. Now to test if automation works, I'll run it. On Monday, I'll change the status to send outreach email. So with this simple automation, we've automated the brand advocacy process for a branding agency. The last process that we're going to automate for is the client feedback process. The client feedback process, on our branding agency system folder, I'm going to click on create a new scenario. I'm going to name our scenario to client feedback. Then here, I'm going to create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to client feedback. So here, I'm going to click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here, I'm going to click on add, and then I'll rename our webhook to client feedback. And then I'm going to click on save. I'm going to copy the link of the webhook, then click on OK, then I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate, and I'll click on webhooks, and I'll use this as our template. Then I'll click on use another account, then paste the webhook URL that we just copied, click on connect. Says fail communicate with the URL provided. I'll connect our webhook using a webhook response. I'll write challenge, and here I'll add our challenge text and click on OK. Run our webhook, click on connect. You can see it ran successfully. Delete our response and set up our webhook. I like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to client feedback. I'll click on create automation. Now, to test if automation works, I'll run this module. I'll change the status of one of our clients to client feedback. You can see that it ran successfully because the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of the client's data, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module. Then click on get an item. I'll choose my connection. For the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. For the board ID, I'm going to choose Thrive Branding Agency Clients. Then click on OK. Then I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here and clicking on OK. Here you can see now we're getting the rest of their data, like their first name, last name, company name, their email, and their phone number. Since this is a client feedback automation, we've created a survey form on Typeform that we're going to send to our client for them to fill in a series of questions that we've asked them on the form, providing feedback for our services. On Typeform, I've created this feedback survey form. I've renamed to Thrive Branding Agency Feedback Survey Form. On this form, we're asking our client a series of questions. The first question that we're asking our client is, how satisfied are you with our services? And then they're going to rate us from 0 to 10. The second question that we're asking them is, how likely are you to recommend our services to others? And they're going to rate us from 0 to 10. The third question that we're asking them is, how well did we communicate throughout the project? Then they're going to type in the answer here. The fourth question that we're asking them is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with our services? And then they're going to type in the answer here. And the last question that we're asking them is, do you have any suggestion for improving our services? And then they're going to type in the answer here. Here, you can add more questions that are more specific to your clients, for your clients to provide more in-depth feedback. But I'm going to choose these as our example. To get the unique ID of this form, I'm going to click on share. Here, you'll see the link of our form right here. Now, we'll copy the last part of this link, which will be the unique ID of our form. I'll copy it. And then on make, I'll search for Typeform. Then click on get at form module. Here I'll choose my connection, paste the unique ID that we just copied, and click on OK. Now, you can run this module and see if we're going to get our form. You can see that we're getting our form right here. I'll rename this to client feedback form and click on OK. Now with our form right here, we can send it to our client via email. So here, I'll search for email, then click on send an email module. And I'll rename this module to feedback email. And then click on OK. For the email address, we're adding the email address of our client from Monday. The subject lines could be on the lines of, would love your feedback. For the content type, we're choosing plain text. For the content, we can say, hi, first name. We hope you had a great experience working with us. Your feedback is incredibly valuable as we strive to improve our services and refine our strategies for the future. Greatly appreciated if you could take a few minutes to share your thoughts by completing our feedback survey. Your input will help us better understand your needs and continue delivering exceptional results. Care to fill out the survey. Then we're going to add the link of our survey form, which is this link right here. Then we're concluding the email by saying, thank you for helping us grow and improve. If you have any additional comments or questions, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to hearing from you. Best regards, Jessica. Then click on OK. Now, to test if automation works, I'll run it, and then I'll change the status of one of our clients to client feedback. You can see that automation ran successfully. So with this simple automation, we've automated the client feedback process for a branding agency. All you have to do is create another automation similar to this one, where you're watching the responses of the questions that we send to our client for them to fill in. using the watch response module, and then delaying for a few seconds and adding the client's feedback responses to a board they will have created on Monday. You can also send them an email thanking them for filling in the survey form and giving us feedback on our services, and then notify your team via Slack that a new client feedback just got submitted and it has been added to our Monday board. These are all the processes that we've automated for a branding agency in this video. The first automation that we created was an automation that automatically captures leads via Typeform and adds the leads to Monday.com and sends the leads a confirmation email and your team a notification email notifying them of a new client profile that has just been created on Monday. The second automation that we created was a client onboarding automation, where we are automating the process of creating a proposal, a contract, a client's folder, and an invoice, and sending the documents to the client via this onboarding email. And then we're also sending a payment reminder 1 day after the due date has passed if the invoice still has outstanding amounts. The third automation that we created, automating the task allocation and scheduling process. In this automation, we are creating a task scheduling link and sending the link to our team members to schedule for a task allocation call. And then 1 day after the task allocation email has been sent, we are sending the task summary to our team members. The fourth automation that we created was an automation that automatically sends a client insight survey form to our clients. Now, the fourth automation that we created was an automation that automatically populates the board with the client's responses of their insights that they filled in on this client's insight survey form. Then we are adding the responses to a board on Monday. And then we're using the responses to generate a brand positioning document using ChatGPT. Then we're adding the brand positioning document to a Google Docs file that we are sending to our team via Slack for our team to review. The fifth automation that we created in this video was a design feedback collection automation. In this automation, we're sending our client the client's folder for the client to review all the brand assets and designs that we created for their feedback and review. The sixth automation that we created was an automation that sends our client a photography session link for them to schedule for a photography session. We're also using the responses that we added on Monday to generate a brand story. And then we are adding the draft on a Google Docs file. And then we're sharing the Docs file with our team for them to review. We're also creating an automation that automatically posts or schedules social media posts on the various social media platforms. The seventh automation that we created was a brand advocacy automation, where in this automation we are sending influencer outreach email campaigns and asking these influencers for collaboration. And the last automation that we created in this video was a client feedback automation, where we are sending our client a feedback survey form for them to fill in and give us feedback of our services using this feedback email over here. These are all the automations that we created, automating processes in a branding agency. Thank you for watching. Now, if you have an automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. I read out the comments, and if I land on your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire automation from scratch. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.